Hey Capricorn, this is Perrymore Tarot's daily reading for November 5th, 2025. This is for Capricorn. Last shuffle coming out for Capricorn. Let's see what's going on. So Capricorn, we have great gratitude. We also have decrease and we have transformation. And so over this whole day, they want you to be aware of all the good things happening. Okay, there's a need for gratitude for all things. There's a need to be thankful. There's a need to say like say grace and to really mean the things that you say. Your decrease in transformation tells me that loss or decrease or like a decline in something is going to make you even more grateful. Spirit wants you to be in an energy of gratitude. And if you do find yourself being in a place where you're like, I'm entitled and I get to have what I want and I should be able to have what I want, you're going to experience a decrease or a decline. Spirit wants you to remember somewhat the times way back when you did not have as much and you had to be really, really smart, strategic to be able to fulfill your needs, work with other people. They want you to remember that time may be done, but never forget to be grateful. Have gratitude for where you are now, because you did, like there were times when you didn't have what you had. It feels like they're trying, this isn't a warning, right? But it almost is. It's almost to say, yeah, this looks like a warning, okay? There's something here about letting go of how you want things to go, if that makes sense. Letting go of a fixed idea, a fixed plan. They want you to understand that life is up and a journey of ups and downs, sideward and backward. You know what I mean? And it's like this for everyone. And that they're saying that there's a lot of lessons in this, right? And let go of a fixed plan of how you think life will be really does allow for growth and spontaneity, and all the happiest things happen, or all the happiest people in the world are open to variations in their path, right? Not weighted down by like how it should be, but lightened and inspired by how it is, if that makes sense, right? It feels like you've achieved a lot, you learned a lot, and they want you to relax, sort of, and spread love. Angels are saying it's really up to you about how you want your life to go, how you really want your life to be. I feel that you're being prepared for something here. Um, I'm seeing somewhat of like a meditative energy. They're wanting you to realize that it's time for you to prepare yourself inward. This is a moment where you wake up in the morning, if that makes any sense, right? They're telling me you need to wake up in the morning and give yourself about 30 minutes to prepare yourself for the actions you need to take for the day. And you need to remind yourself of your purpose. What is the purpose of what you're doing? What's your direction? What do you want to get done? And if there are variations, remember that you're so powerful that and so intelligent that you can get through anything. Okay, it feels like waiting because this almost feels like waiting because some of the things that you have planned for the day or whatever it is kind of further off. Maybe it's like hours later. Maybe you're planning on dinner or whatever the case is, and it's like 6 in the morning. But they don't want you to be in a hurry. The time to act is coming. They want you to kind of get up early and just lay there and just think about prepare yourself, and preparing yourself by being in an energy of gratitude, already grateful for all the good things that may be coming your way, for all the changes in your plan, all the things that you might run into, just being grateful. Ground yourself in who you are. There's a grounding energy here. And by grounding ourselves in who we are, grounding yourselves is about focusing on some basic inalienable facts. So these are like facts like today, um, I am not even just today, but in general, I am love, right? I'm I'm about healing. I'm about like I'm a calming force. Like grounding energy of like I am capable. I am a lot of different things, right? Capricorn, they don't want you to ground yourself in like your occupation and not grounding yourself in like the relationships you have with people. Because this is the funniest thing. I don't know if I ever said this, but there was this young man. I kid you not. It was like he was young too, and he was married. He had children, and he was doing very well at his job, and he was happy. And he said that many people were coming to him saying, "Oh, therapy's so great. Everyone should get therapy. Anyone should get it, not just when you're going through a crisis, but at any point." So he was like, you know what? Maybe I'll try it because I don't know. I never tried anything like that. So he's like, I'm going to try. And he said the therapist sat him down and said, "Who are you?" And he rattled off, "I'm a husband. I'm a father. I work at this place. My parents are this. I'm a wonderful son, this and a third, right?" And she was like, "Okay, well, those are all the things in relation to other people. Who are you in relation to yourself?" And so that's something Spirit wants you to break down. Just sit back and think. Give yourself that moment in the morning to think, because that'll open you up to letting go of having a fixed idea of how things need to be. It just leads to unhappiness, really. It's basically expectation. I get up in the morning. I expect birds to be singing at my thing, and there should be perfect pancakes and bacon. And of course, this is ridiculous. I'm not saying that that's how you're thinking, but I'm saying that if there may be, how if you know what I mean, let go of a fixed plan, right? Say you're having a child, you don't know when that child's going to come, but it's one of the happiest days of your life, and it's spontaneous. So a lot of your happiness is going to come through spontaneous energy. And so they want you to be open. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there because they want you to imagine unwanted thoughts dissolving into light. The minute that you start having unwanted thoughts, and these would be thoughts that make you upset, that make you unhappy, that perhaps just throw you off. You know those invasive thoughts that we have, right? That it's like we're having a good time, then a crazy thought comes in. Oh, they're not wearing a seatbelt, they're going to go through the windshield. It's like, oh gosh, get this, and whatever the thoughts are. What if I go outside right now and a meteor hits my car? Whatever they are, I'm just making up things, and it's ridiculous. But I'm just throwing out here, imagine these unwanted thoughts dissolving into light. Okay, they want you to immediately imagine these thoughts. Imagine the light being like a tornado, and it just sucks that thought right on out, and you see its legs kicking away to make you laugh, you know, to put you back in the space Spirit wants you to be in. They want you to be playful, happy, youthful. They're showing someone weighed down, maybe not knowing exactly who they are, but knowing what they want to have happen in their space, but not who you are, though. Not that you're an intelligent person that can make it happen no matter what. Five of Swords is I'm winning no matter what. You understand? I'm coming in. That means I'm winning. I'm wise. I have enough life experience to know how to work with whatever I've got. This may decrease without gratitude. Okay. Transformation, Six of Swords, Nine of Cups. They're telling me that you're in the middle of things getting better. So you've left some things behind that don't work for you in order to take advantage of a Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups comes after the Eight. Eights are about walking away from things that don't work in order to make space for something that does. Right? We're walking away from Eight to get to Nine, which is a wish fulfillment, emotional contentment, so happy with what we're getting. Like there's nothing bothering you here. You're just in a great place. They're showing, and Six of Swords is the same energy of leaving the baggage of the past in the past, and we're going towards a clearing. Things are getting better. Someone's in a space where things are about to get better. You're just being prepared. Spirit wants you to prepare yourself before you start your day. You want to say, my mind is my tool to use in any way I wish. Therefore, imagine your mind being a toolbox, and unwanted thoughts are broken tools. We got to get that mess out of there. We can't use this anymore. It doesn't work. Joyous fun is a Ten of Pentacles and King of Cups. And the joyous fun comes from realizing that you still have everything in alignment, right? There's a vibe of like, everything's still there. I still can get it done. No matter if things don't go my way, even if things don't go according to plan, it still can happen. So 3 cups of spilled. I still got these two in alignment here, and that's all that matters. It's still possible. And they're saying that don't lose focus and don't lose sight of the goal. Maybe the way that you get there is not exactly what you know what I mean. It's not going to be the same way you're going. Like, I mean, not the same way you're going, but you know what I mean. It's not going to be. It's not. You're not going to reach it the same way you thought that you would reach it. The ends will always justify the means. You will still get there, just not the same route that you thought you would have to take. And it's meant for you to have fun. This is a time for you to have um, to be joyful, to be playful, fun. If you're in a romantic connection, I feel that your person is a little bit more lighthearted than you. I'm getting that energy. There's some of a lightheartedness there. And so this would be a welcome energy for you. It's up to you to continue to be self assured and not rely, because I'm seeing the color auburn, which somewhat represents the root chakra. There's a false sense of security in a routine, or it has to go this way, right? But I see someone around you who is like, it doesn't matter, we'll figure it out some way. And they're wanting you to adopt that energy too. I'm seeing angel number 1313. That's always a number that represents stepping outside of your comfort zone. I'm seeing it here. You're about to create something meaningful here. Every skill and talent is going to bring you the craziest profits. You're going to reap benefits from your skills and talents. You need to build your confidence, though. Spirit's trying to build your confidence. Get you to stop leaning on things are supposed to be this way. It has to be this way. They're trying to get you out of leaning on those kind of phrases and that kind of thought process, because your confidence should go beyond a false sense of security. You should be, you know what I mean? Inside, there's an ancient trust that I know that spirit will never lead me down a path that I can't get through. I hope that makes sense. You need to trust in yourself. Letting go. I cannot make this up. 2 of Swords and the 4 of Cups. They're wanting you to get out of a complacent energy. Some of you may be really, really comfortable and avoid certain things. What are we avoiding here? Avoid things that you may avoid things that stress you out, mainly the unknown. You got to let go of doing that. You may feel like if it's not a certain way, then now you're only focused on the fact that it's not a certain way and you're not seeing how it can still happen. Right? You know what I mean? Like, this would be the, like, say, there's so many ways to put this, right? But instead of being able to see that it can still happen, you're so focused on what did not go right that you miss out on what you really wanted in the first place. But you would be like, I don't want it unless it's this way. I don't care. And what you're going to end up allowing fear to make you miss out on blessings. I'm seeing Pluto placements here. You could end up being really destructive. I know. I don't think you're this way. Pluto placements speak of that, and to me, speaks of you're meant to be flexible, more carefree today. You don't want to mess things up by feeling like things have to be controlled in a certain way. Not that you are controlling, but that things have to be in a controlled setting. It has to be a certain way. It will never grow. And part of this is that spirit sees growth is hard. I will say this, growth is hard because growth requires you to be bigger, longer, stronger than you ever were. You think of something growing, it was never that big before. It got bigger, right? Um, and so spontaneity begs for that. Like it, because think about if you could control your growth if you were a child, if you could control your growth. Why are they showing me that? That's just the weirdest concept that just got shown to me, and it's like then it erases. But they're like, if you could control it, for many of us, we'd be too afraid to get bigger. We'd stay the same. For most children, they would want to stay the same. Because why? Not most children, because there's certain ages where it's like, yeah, I want to be big. I don't care. But you can't fit your favorite sweater anymore. You can't fit your favorite shoes or your favorite pants or your favorite dress. So it's like, oh, I don't want to get bigger. I can't have my stuff. And or you don't want to lose your teeth. I've met children that get so overtly upset about those kind of things. You know what I mean? And so they're showing a child who does not ever want to grow up, right? But then look at all the things you miss out on if you don't. Um, I hope this makes sense. It feels like it's all over the place, and I apologize. But yeah, the color auburn may be important. That could be, of course, now that we are definitely in the thick of fall, you may see auburn colored trees, especially if you live in the northern part of the country. Um, Colored, the leaves turning an auburn color. Your hair may be auburn, but this is just a reminder to ground yourself in who you are. You want to be able to say, I am Capricorn. I am, and then finish the sentence. I am Capricorn. I'm smart. I'm genius level smart, right? I work with what I have, and I'm wise. I've got enough life experience to get me through anything. You want to know who you are. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, a Virgo, or a Pisces. And if you're not dealing with those signs, which you don't have to be, those signs could also be in your chart. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.